Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I've got a message for Aries today. This is a message which I have asked for from my guides and spirit. I've asked them to bring it through the cards in a way that will be very uplifting and inspirational to you as you navigate what's going on in your journey this week. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I invite you to subscribe so that you can stay in contact with this high vibration information every week. I put out readings every Saturday so that you have consistent help from the other side as you're navigating what's going on in your world. And if you're returning to the channel, I am so grateful for your presence. I'm so excited for this reading. Let's get started right away. Aries, we're talking about relationships this week. The universe is giving you this lovely King of Cups energy. I do love this card a lot. So I feel like the theme is relationships. This may be talking about a specific relationship with a father figure, but I'm not really getting that feeling incredibly strongly. I just feel like we're talking about the opportunity and the chance to really master your relationship dynamics, something that the King of Cups is very, very savvy about. Now, it's interesting because your response to this energy, your response to this invitation from the universe is the Five of Swords. So we're talking about relationships that are especially contentious, relationships where you feel that you're being taken from. It's uneven. And I'm almost feeling like there's a lack of trust between the two of you, that it's not because of either miscommunication or misunderstanding, there's something that's off with the two of you. So when you have an argument or an exchange with this person, you may feel like you come out on top, but as you walk away from the conflict, you're feeling like, actually, no, I've lost something. What have I lost? Like you've still given up a part of yourself by engaging with this person. So it's a really interesting dynamic that's being set up here. You know, this one is such an inviting, welcoming energy, and this one is such an energy of separation and inequality. You see, we have a big figure here, a small figure here who has been defeated, and although he's victorious, he still doesn't feel secure. So that's what I'm talking about. Let's get straight into your advice, because this is a bit of an interesting reading. They're always interesting, aren't they? We've got the Ace of Cups, lovely card, into the Nine of Wands, into the Star. I adore the Star card. I'm so happy that it came up for you. So let's talk through this. The biggest theme with the three of these cards together is standing your ground. Okay, but what does that mean? Standing your ground in terms of what? Not standing your ground in a combative way, even though he seems like, it's funny, he's like, I'm here, and everyone is throwing stuff at him, and he's like, I'm not gonna, he's very defiant, that kind of energy, but it's softened by this Ace of Cups, which tells you that the fundamental energy centers, like the battery, that's what I'm trying to get to, the battery of your emotional relationships all come out of the relationship that you have with yourself. But this Ace of Cups is encouraging you to look at what's pouring out of you. When you're relating with other people, are they an extension of the self-love that you feel for yourself? Or, you know, what's really going on here? This is complicated. It's not coming through incredibly clear, so let me go to the other side. Let's start with the Star. The Star energy talks about the preservation of your particular energy and your particular soul path. So this means that you're always nourishing yourself no matter what. In every interaction with other people, it doesn't matter who it is, but that you always put yourself first, and you always put your well-being first. So this is not like me first in a kind of selfish way. This is, okay, what's good for me here? What do I need to have, or what do I need to feel in order to feel nurtured in this situation from within? This is not about asking other people for nurturing. This is about understanding for yourself what you need. Okay, so if you're not feeling understood, that means taking a moment to say to yourself, okay, we don't feel understood. And then actually, this is the interesting part. If you're feeling that, then you also need to assume that the other person is feeling that. So if you're not feeling understood, then you think, okay, wait, they're not feeling understood. I need to ask them what's going on in a gentle way, in an inviting way that opens the door, rather than, well, why won't you tell me what's going on, right? Like not that kind of speech. A gentle, inviting, please tell me so I can understand. And it's like a projection kind of thing. You may be picking up from people, from the other person, what they're actually feeling, and then taking it on to yourself. So that's why this Nine of Wands shows up so strongly. It's saying, hang on to yourself, hang on to your center. But strangely, the way of reconciling that difference is to kind of turn it around and mirror it back to the other person. So you see how she's pouring water on the land and on the rocks? Or I'm sorry, she's pouring it into the sea. So you're feeding your own emotions as well as taking care of what's going on the land. Okay, so if you're feeling upset, then you've got to assume that other person in this conflict is also feeling upset. And you need to back up and say, hey, why are you upset? Could you tell me why you're upset, or what's making you upset? It's like I said, it's a little bit, it's all kind of in together like this, and I'm having a trouble separating it out for you. And I think this is also why this King of Cups card mirrors back also what other people are feeling. He knows exactly what other people are feeling, but the empowering action for you this time is not taking it in and letting it stew or exploding because you can't hold it anymore. It's actually seeing with compassion, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I understand that we're probably feeling the same thing. And then putting it out so that it comes into the ball goes into their court. And then what's so cool about this energy is because you have extended yourself with compassion to say, okay, I see you're distressed. Please tell me about it. Let me hear it. Let me witness it. Let me give space to it. Then what comes back to you is that feeling of compassion. As soon as you check into what the other person is feeling, they're actually going to send that back to you and say, okay, well, then how do you feel? It completely shifts the dynamic of your interaction. And you no longer have this where you feel like winning and losing. You still always feel losing. There's just not an equal footing. You always feel like there's something lost, even if you got your point across. But not so with this. So this is about true protection of this inner compass, but it's protecting it in a way that it can come out. That's our Ace of Cups, that it can flow out and it can benefit the other people around you. In addition to you, of course, you're going to benefit from this, but in addition to you, that's what it benefits. Let me see if there's anything else they want me to say. They want me to stick with the star. And it's funny because usually when I see the star card come out, I think, okay, this person needs a little bit more self-care. They've been overextending themselves too much. But what's interesting about the message with the star in this reading is that they're saying that the guiding light, the guiding compass, is that compassionate ability that you have to swing around and let the other person air what's going on with them. That this self-care isn't just to be shared with yourself. It's not to be just self-contained. It's actually to be poured out, to be given out. So again, it's not like you're putting the other person's needs ahead of your own. You're actually extending out to them as a gesture of self-care for yourself. You're treating them the way that you would like to be treated, which is a form of self-care. So, let me again ask if there's anything else we need to cover. The star on the star card is just jumping out at me. It's so bright up there. I mean, this is a really, really sacred and big thing. This is a big spiritual ask of you, because this is taking that spiritual principle and really putting it into something practical and completely shifting the dynamics of what goes on in your world. Because it's really huge. If you could look at it from a big perspective, you've got this person that is like a big, angry, antagonistic bear, and they're prickly. Suddenly you tone them down, and then you think about how many other people do they interact with in the day. And because you just did a tiny little thing, you just shifted the energy, suddenly all the people they interact with are going to be so much better because of it. And I guess stress is kind of running high right now, it being the holidays, so I can see why relationships are especially important right now. So it's interesting to think about doing this with one person, that you might change 20 people's interactions. You do it with two people, that's 40 people's interactions. And so you see how it just goes out and out and out, all because you made a different choice. So if you've got questions about this, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. I also wanted to let you know I'm doing special solstice readings. It's kind of solstice/new year readings to really help you understand what karmic lessons are done and what karmic lessons are still available for you to complete. And it's really powerful. I love these readings. I've done a few already, and they've really, really blown me away with how on point they are. So if that's interesting to you, please check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com. If you go under offerings, you'll see solstice readings, and it'll bring you to an informational video. So anyway, and it'll tell you more information on how to book and when to book. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great week.